The first thing we're going to talk about today is the rain guards. Now, the rain guards give you a type of safety. It allows you to hide the 2 inches or so that you leave open for ventilation. It also gives you some comfort, and that comfort is keeping the rain out. So this is a very optional thing. You can see it right here, and I will put a link. Well, I won't put a link. I'm going to tag it, show you where you can get these. Now, 5 years ago, they were 40 bucks. They just have tape on them. You stick them up with some kind of tape, but 5 years later, they're still up. So I was very questionable about it at the time, but it has really worked. The next thing we're going to talk about is your window insulation and your front dash. When looking at a vehicle to move into one, be sure you measure everything. And I will show you something that will surprise you. I don't know if you've ever seen this before or not. Masking tape with measures on it. This was Scotch masking tape. It makes life easier when you're measuring, and then you can leave it on the floor or whatever you're measuring, and you've always got the measurements until you cover it up. So, buying the van, rain guards were first. The next thing I did was, I thought about this a long time. When I lived in a minivan, all my carpeting got black mold in it after 2 years. I can tell you that. The condensation was horrendous. And me not really realizing it and getting sick and finding the black mold was a real eye-opener. Condensation really, really is important to control. So I'm looking at everything everybody's doing, and I'm not seeing them doing anything. This is a metal bucket. It's definitely going to have condensation on the walls. And I just keep thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And one day I was walking in a parking lot, and I looked at this truck, and they had their back end down, and it had all the truck bed liner. And I went, wait a minute. Truck bed liner reflects, well, it you know, like water beads up on it. What do you call it? Anyway, doesn't soak up water. It lasts for years and years. So why wouldn't that work in a van for condensation? So the next thing, and I have some pictures of stuff you can buy right now, Flex Seal, some other things that might work. I used truck bed liner, black, and I painted all the metal, floor, ceiling, sides, doors, in the back with truck bed liner. It wasn't too expensive then. I bought a couple of quart cans, I think, and I think I bought it at Home Depot. I'll look it up and try and tag it on this. That took me a couple of days, and then I let it cured, and it cured for about a week. And then I started thinking about insulation, flooring, and I guess the next thing would be the flooring. And I went to Home Depot, measured my black floor, got one solid piece to go down the middle between the wheel well, and then the side pieces I attached with L brackets. It was that easy. Then I put 3 or 4 coats of varnish on it to protect it from water damage. So then, what's your next thing? So now for my dash, I bought this cat cover. It was for the outside because I saw supposed to fit across the mirror, around the mirrors, but I just clamp it up here. Now, This was money I could have saved if I had known about some other things, because my privacy curtains are black. They were 84 inches long. I think I got these for like $10 a pair. And I cut the bottoms off. Well, what do I do with that fabric? You have double things here. You can cover your dash by just clamping on that fabric over here. That gives you privacy. And then you have double privacy here with these drapes. So it's twofold for the same amount of money. But I didn't realize that. So instead, I spent $40 or $50 because I saw a YouTuber say this is what you needed for the outside. Well, I need it for the inside, because if I'm trying to get away from somebody, I no need to run around outside to remove the cover on the outside. I need to remove it from the inside to keep me safe. So this is a safety issue as well as a privacy issue, and it's something to think about. But you can get two different things for the price of one by getting those drapes. And you can buy clamps. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be anything, you know, just to clamp them up there. And it works beautiful. Been doing it for 5 years. So this is something simple you can do, and it's easy on your pocketbook. During this video, I'm just going to be talking about my van. I have a cargo van. You have something totally different. And so the decisions of thickness, of insulation, or your windows is up to you. Some of these things everybody can use no matter what kind of vehicle you have. The drapes that I talk about, the rain guards. So these are things you can fit into any vehicle. And the rain guards are optional. You don't have to have them. I just prefer to have them for safety, because you can't see that I have my windows open for ventilation. So here's my window insulation. This is a 1/2 inch thick, and I covered it from the front with black masking tape. So you buy these in sheets. You can buy them in larger sheets or smaller sheets. You can buy the pink kind or the blue kind, or this is 1 inch thick. I'm going to show you the thickness. This is 1 inch thick, okay? And I cover this because these little beads here come out. They get all over everything. But well, I'm stuck. Okay, so the reason I have 1 inch is because I have such a thickness around my windows. So if you watch, I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to pop it in. It just pops right in. And I'm not sure of the, I'll have to tell you in a little bit, the EPS code, HUD specifications. So you can cut this. You don't need to go out and buy a X-Acto blade. I wished you would have one. You don't need an X-Acto blade to cut this insulation. You can use a regular knife. So there's one expense. I do like having an X-Acto blade, and most people do. But if you don't want to buy it, then use a kitchen knife. You can cut into it. Now, the way I do this is, and how are you going to get the shape so it just pops in? Mine just pop in and they stay. That's what they do. I don't know what I'm sticking my finger in my ear for. Anyway, so now depending on what thickness of insulation and what type of insulation you get is going to tell you the cost. And you definitely want your windows for privacy covered. You don't want anyone actually knowing you're inside. They do, but you have to believe they don't. That's why I put the black on the outside of the windows. I'm covering up the reflectives with the black tape. It's still reflecting, but it's got black tape on it because I only use them at night, not during the day. So it's better to have black at night than it is to have the reflective at night that catches the light as people drive by. They know you're in there. If they see these reflectives, normally they're going to believe somebody's in there. So I hide my reflectives at night, particularly at night, so it doesn't catch the light from the cars going by, and they don't know what it is. It just looks like black windows and a black dash. So it just kind of makes me feel like I'm a little safer and a little more stealth. Not that I really am, I'm just saying that's how I feel. That's what my mind says. I'm a little more stealth, I'm a little more safe. So I'm going to stop here. So far you haven't spent, I hope, a lot of money. So far you've decided whether you're going to take out the seats, what you're going to do with the seats, things like that. But I'm going to stop because we're going to talk about other things. Again, I'm going to try to do several videos on this so that we can talk about step by step how to build your van. And I'll try to show you examples of containers and other things. But let me let you go. Thank you for watching, viewing, and sharing. And you're all in my thoughts. I'll see you next time.